Well. Blessed Lord's Day, blessed Sabbath to everyone who is on. Just wanted to give a quick update on the bracket, and then I'll let you enjoy the day. We are down to our final two for the bracket. Final two for the Reformed Podcast 2024, and boy, was it a battle. We had Dividing Line and Haunted Cosmos in the first bracket. We had the King's Hall and Apologia in the second bracket, and it was pretty amazing. The first bracket was not as close as I thought. I knew Haunted Cosmos was going to do well, but they take the win over Dr. James White in the Dividing Line. Ben and Brian pull through with 62.7% of the vote. 5,215 votes cast, 96.4 thousand views on that poll. Congratulations to Ben and Brian of Haunted Cosmos. You are now in the finals. And that was something else to be taking down the reigning champ, Dr. James White, from last year. And Haunted Cosmos had strong brackets, strong rounds every single time. This was the least amount they won by, but still almost 2/3 of the vote for Haunted Cosmos. So Ben, Brian, good job. You are in the finals. Our other contender, this was a crazy bracket. It was the King's Hall versus Apologia. We had Apologia putting out a mandate, an emergency call to all their listeners saying, hey, if you vote for us, we will put you into a raffle and fly one of you guys out to meet us in studio in Arizona, go out to dinner. And then the King's Hall responded with saying, we will give away tickets to 20 families to our conference. Apologia then responded back with an emergency call out on Facebook. Jeff Durbin was on Facebook earlier yesterday saying, go vote. The King's Hall then responded to a podcast episode that they pushed to everyone who listens to their podcast streams, asking to go vote. And boy, was it a nail biter. It was a barn burner. It was insane. Guys, first of all, what was it? 5,928 votes, almost 6,000 votes, almost 241,000 views just on that bracket alone. And the King's Hall pull it out 50.8%. It was the closest bracket of the tournament. 50.8% to Apologia's 49.2%. Just less than 100 votes separating the two. But Dan, Eric, and Brian pull it out in the King's Hall, and they move on to the final. So we started with 64 podcasts, and the finals come down to 2 new Christendom podcasts. I think that goes to show you the kind of quality content that they're putting out over there, the kind of fans that they have. Congratulations to all you guys, Ben, Brian, Dan, Eric, and those 2 podcasts. We have the final 2 set, Haunted Cosmos versus the King's Hall. It'll all kick off tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will post the votes to see who will become the 2024 Reformed Podcast Bracket winner, the reigning podcast over all other podcasts, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whatever tomorrow's date is. What is tomorrow? The 18th? What's today? The 17th? So tomorrow, the 18th, Monday, the 18th, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be just like all the other votes, a 24-hour vote. So you will have 24 hours to cast your vote for either the Haunted Cosmos or the King's Hall. 2 wonderful podcasts that did very well in all of their brackets. And there you go. Guys, between those 2 brackets, over 300,000 views and over 10,000 votes. So thank you so much for sharing, for getting out the word. It was fun. We had some back and forth between Jeff and Brian. I saw that online. It might seem a little contentious, but I know those 2 are friends. They know each other. I saw Brian saying Apologia and Jeff is bribing people. I saw Jeff say on his video, hey, I don't know if you should vote for a guy whose last name is named after body wash or soap. Suave. I just thought it was funny. It was just good ribbing between 2 brothers in the Lord. I think they stepped up and did and kind of took this bracket in the spirit in which I meant it. But look at Haunted Cosmos and Kings Hall won out. They got the most votes. That's what's beautiful about this bracket. You vote for who you want to move on, and you can't argue with the people. You, the people, voted, and you said who you wanted to see in the finals. So we have Haunted Cosmos, Kings Hall in the finals. Voting will start tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Monday, the 18th, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Real DMW podcast handle, our podcast handle. It's the only place you can vote for it on Twitter X. So make sure you have a Twitter X account. It was funny. I had one of the moms in church come up to me today, and she said, my 14-year-old son has been watching this bracket for the last 10 days. And he said, Mom, I got to get a Twitter account so I can vote. And she said, you are not getting a Twitter account at 14 years old. So I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it for it to, your 14-year-old wanting to get on Twitter where there are some areas of garbage just so he can vote. So I think he might have voted through someone else, maybe an older relative that has a Twitter account. But I just found it funny that even within my church, I was getting inundated this morning before we started worship about the bracket. People were coming up to me afterwards and saying, hey, is the bracket done? Who won? In church, after church. And I said, hey, I'm not on my phone in church. And it ends at 1:30. So go check it yourself. So that was it, guys. Couldn't be happier with how the bracket turned out. We will have some changes next year, but right now we're focused on the finals. Haunted Cosmos, Ben and Brian over there at Haunted Cosmos, and then Dan, Eric, and Brian at the Kings Hall. They're in the finals. So do what you do. The people will speak. Who will be the reigning champion of 2024 for the Reform Podcast? Only you can decide. Guys, go vote. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Starts tomorrow, Monday morning, 8 o'clock. I'll post it and get to the polls. Thanks, guys.